Hello, everyone. I am Dana Michelle Woods, and I am so excited to bring you this golden nugget tonight. I hope today has been an absolute good day for you. I know for me, it has. You know what? I woke up this morning with some checked my email, and I had some things that kind of kind of kicked me in gear a bit. I'll put it that way. And usually, I'm gonna tell you how you can measure your growth. Oh, that should be a video for tomorrow. Man, oh, but let me tell you how you can measure your growth. I'm a little bit excited, so you just gotta bear with me right here. You can measure your growth and how you handle situations that in times past you would have acted in a more irrational, emotional, unwise manner. So I woke up this morning and I checked my email and I had like two things that before, man, it would have just brought me to my knees. But you know what? Not this time. I can tell I have grown from last year to this year. And you have to be able to spot those moments. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but it will never take place. But what I will say is I saw a change in me. And when you're working on you and you see those changes take place, that's a moment to take a pause, take a time out and say, you look how you reacted to that. You did good. I mean, when I tell you I have the world on my shoulders, when I tell you I feel like the walls are closing in on me, I'm still strong. I'm still in my right mind. I'm not taking no medicine. I'm not trying to self-medicate myself. I'm not trying to sleep all day so that I don't have to deal with or face my situation. But I tell you, I am standing strong. Not just saying it, but I can feel it. Not just I can feel it, but I know it. And I tell you, when you're facing situations in life that really feel like it's going to try to take you out, you have to be able to stand strong no matter what. I know we're going to get into the golden nugget. I'm going to get there. I promise you it's going to be good. But I just want to kind of encourage you with this. I don't know about you, but sometimes, even when I go to the mailbox, people are like, thank you for checks in the mail and all that kind of good stuff. But sometimes you can get bills, you can get letters, whatever it is, you can get news. When you get news, any kind of news from a doctor, your employer calls you and say, you know what, we're going to start you, wanted you to start on February the 1st. Now we're going to push it out to April 1st. You're like, wait a minute. And there's no paid training in between. You know, when you get those news from people, it will measure what's in you and how you respond. Let me say it better this way. When you hear news, when you receive a good report or a bad report, but right now I'm talking about the bad report, you will be able to measure the type of person you are and how you handle the news that you have been given. Whether somebody call you, whether you read it, and so forth, whether it's a video, it doesn't matter. And I'm excited. I'm celebrating myself, even on my own video. I'm celebrating myself because I see the growth. And so many times we look at, I got a long road ahead. I'm nowhere near where I should be. No, celebrate those milestones, those incremental milestones in yourself. When you used to be able to just get so upset with people and now you just hold your tongue. And something in you says, look at how you handle that. And you're like, I didn't get upset. I'm still okay. Recognize, I call it, that's that aha moment. Recognize the aha moment where you can be able to say, I see growth in me. I see a better change in me. You can have negative change and positive change. Remember, you want the positive change. So today, that's the prelude into what we're going to talk about today. And today I want to address a concern. And it's one of the reasons why I shifted our focus in terms of our business and who we're actually going after. Our target, my target market, they always say, give that person a name. My target market, her name is Samantha. And she's between the ages of like 35 and 50. 35 is when you're at that halfway point of crossing into your 40s. And 35 is usually a good measuring point for you to figure out how, since I came out of college up until now, am I better off? Am I making the same mistakes? And then when you're at 30, like I said, 35 to 40, you're like, what do I want? Do I want to keep doing the same thing in my 40s? And then when you're at that 40 and 50 range, that's when you're looking at, okay, you know what? I'm 10 years away from 50. And that in 50 is like the turning point where you're like, okay, it's either now or never. But I'd rather have a now or never attitude in my 20s that carries me all the way through my 30s, my 40s, and my 50s, and 60s, and 70s, and 80s, and 90s. And if I'm blessed to be 100, that'd be even wonderful, right? But I want to talk tonight about this. When I was preparing for the Be You, Do You, and Live You experience, which I'm so excited about, I am doing that event. I promise you, I'm doing that event every single month. If I have to do the event virtually or whatever, I'm going to do it because I know there's some people out there that need what I have to say. I am somebody's answer, just like you're somebody's answer, no matter what comes up. I'm staying focused on that, okay? So, but I recognize even in my corporate career, I met women that had credentials, women that were in senior management positions, women that were married, women that had staff at home, women that drove nice cars, women that had money in the bank, women that had good credit scores, women that were accomplished. But yet they struggled with this one area. And I could see how not addressing this one area always popped its head up on the job. Not dealing with this one area always popped up in relationships, friendships. This one area would always show itself. And so when I was doing my research and putting together this event, because I know this is my signature event, once that I just threw together, but it was something that I've been preparing for. And one of the things that my research led me to was that a recent survey, because I wanted to get the numbers. A recent survey says that 79% of women struggle with self-esteem. Self-esteem. It's a confidence in how you see yourself and your abilities. And when you think of self-esteem, confidence is there. And so what they're really saying, to really break it down once and for all, when you think of the word self-esteem, we're talking about your confidence in you. And all of these videos that I've been doing, and if you've been missing the videos, hey, listen, subscribe, turn your notifications. We're posting onto the YouTube channel for that audience there, because some people on YouTube don't come to Facebook and so forth. And we'll do a backlink towards all the Instagram accounts and to the Twitter account as well. And to LinkedIn. I keep forgetting about my LinkedIn. But right now we're trying to grow the Instagram, try to grow the YouTube. That's what our social media marketing plan is for this year. Because when you know that you have something to share with the world, you don't care. I always care about my appearance. I always do. Why? Because I don't believe you should just come on here just any kind of way. You should always take pride. If I want to go to the store, I want to take pride in how I go to the store. Why? Because I'm a public figure, and I want to represent myself, represent my family, represent my business, and so forth correctly. If I'm working for a client or a customer or whomever, I want to represent, even when no one's looking at me. Okay. So I'm not going to come on here any kind of way. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to be me. Anyone else can do that, but I'm not going to do it. Okay. I digress. But getting back to it, 79% of women struggle with their self-esteem, talking about their confidence in themselves, their abilities. And I mentioned earlier that I met women that had the title, vice president, director, controller, pastor, deacon, deaconess, different positions of authority, mother, wife, daughter, and so forth. Um, just, income, have money, don't need to worry about money. Some don't have any money. I mean, when I talk about, my point is from all backgrounds have to deal with this issue, and that's self-esteem. And how do you measure your self-esteem? Well, I'll deal with that down the road in this video. Hopefully I'll get to it. Hopefully I won't forget to deal with it. But I have a question for you. Are you one of the 79%, almost 80% of women who struggle with their self-esteem? See, if I was doing an event on how to invest in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, then it would be like, that's interesting. Or how to, how to win your lover over or something like that. It would be massive registration. It would be like, yes, because that topic doesn't make you look inwardly. That topic is okay. But when you talk about self-esteem, self-worth, self-respect, when you talk about identity, identity disconnect, when you talk about self-love, when you talk about body love, body hatred, when you talk about taking a journey to tap into who you really are, because maybe over the years you have picked up some beliefs, some behaviors, some thought processes, the speech, your language, that really is not you. It's really you have taken on somebody else's mannerism, somebody else's persona, the association that you are connected to. Somehow you have adopted how they think, look, and talk. Just look at your friend circle. What do you all have in common? Do you all have the same short haircut? Are all of you African American? Are all of you Caucasian? All of you light skin? All of you dark skin? Are all of you doctors? Are all of you college educated? Are all of you married? All of you moms? Is there any diversity in the group? Or does everybody almost look like each other, talk like each other, act like each other, eat like each other? No one's different. You're the only, everyone's the vegan, which means you'll never invite a person like me who likes I'm a foodie. And I think sometimes they can tell. But you would never have me in your group. Why? Because if I want a steak, I'm going to eat a steak. If I want pork, I'm going to have a pork. It's all about moderation and knowing what I can eat and when I can eat it and when I can't eat it. Yeah, that's my responsibility. But I'm not going to be a vegan because you're vegan. I'm not going to eat pork because you eat pork. Why? I am in control of this body. I'm in control of me. I'm the boss of me. I am the dictator of me and nobody else. And so I gave you a little time. I was stalling. Are you one of the women that struggle with your self-esteem? And if we were to kind of do trying to trace, when was the last time you had confidence in yourself and your abilities? And maybe it was when you got married 10 years ago. And when your marriage went off the rails last year, your self-esteem took a hit. Maybe that's what it was. That now, a year later, you haven't done anything to build up your self-esteem. You have to build up your self-esteem daily. I was reading as I was doing my research, and it talked about how I think it may have been 25, maybe between 25 or 30% of women, when they finish reading a magazine, it makes them feel ashamed of who they are. It makes them question their body. Based on reading a magazine, you see another beautiful woman. Notice I said another, which means I'm implying that you are. You see another beautiful woman. Maybe her abs are more refined, more defined than yours. Maybe she works out more than you do. Maybe because you don't work out at all. Or maybe you do work out, but it's still taking time for you to get that definition in your body. And you're telling me you're reading a magazine and you see another woman and that makes you feel inferior? That makes you feel as though you're not valuable? You on Instagram, you see the Instagram models, they call it. And then all of a sudden you're looking at yourself and saying, but man, I don't look nothing like them. Now all of a sudden you're binge eating on Ben and Jerry's. Ooh, I do love my Ben and Jerry's. Chunky Monkey is my favorite. Oh, yes, it is. And all of a sudden you're up all night long, or I'm going to go work out. I'm going to work out the rest of the week. I'm going to work out the rest of the month. But your motivation is because you saw another woman in a magazine or on Instagram, and it made you feel as though you're somehow not valuable. It made you feel like your body is, why are you even living? Look at her. Look at you. I keep telling you, women, stop comparing yourself. It's never going to be a fair comparison. Either you're going to put yourself up here and the other person down here, or you're going to put that person up here and you're going to put yourself down here. That's why you don't compare yourself, not to a man and not to a woman. I'm competing in a man's world. No, it's a world that has humans in the world. And guess what? I don't have to compete with anybody. I want to challenge myself to be better every single day, every single month, every single year. I'm challenging me. Rather than the word competitor, I replace it with the word challenge. I want to challenge me. So I want you tonight, before you close your eyes, I want you to really think about, do you have confidence in yourself? Do you have confidence in your abilities? And if you do, how can you prove it? You've been talking about going after that MBA for so long. Money is not an issue. Time is not an issue for you. But somehow you talk yourself out of completing the assignment, completing that degree. You have been talking about going after that board seat. But you're thinking, I would be the only African American. I would be the only Asian woman on there. I would be the only Latino woman on there. I would be the only brown skinned woman on there. I would be the only Caucasian woman on there. I think I covered all of us women. I would be the only one. And I'm not comfortable being the only one. I'm not willing for people to look at me. I'm not willing to use my voice, which is the most powerful thing I can have besides my mind. Not willing to use my voice in front of men because I'm okay with dating men. I'm okay with having dinner with men. I'm okay with, just having a casual conversation. But when we talk about the boardroom, the men in the room intimidate me. Why do they intimidate you? When if there is a seat at the table that has your name on, that means you have been qualified to be there. Could you think, they might be intimidated by me? And sometimes not intimidation. It's just a matter of, not knowing the person. Oh, and by the way, you will meet some that really don't want you to be there, but you have to rise above it. So do you have confidence in yourself? What are you waiting for? What is causing you not to have confidence in yourself? You've been talking about writing that book. But I know other people wrote a book and their book didn't do well. That has nothing to do with you. 79% of women struggle with self-esteem. Just look at the women in your family. Look at the women in your group, your special clique, your entourage. Just look at them. How many of them, just listen to their conversation. Don't look at what they have on, because they can be dressed to the nines. They can have all the Louis Vuitton they want on. They could be designer everything. But how many of them struggle with what? Their self-esteem. That confidence in themselves. Are you one of them? So let's say you do struggle. You raise your hand and you say, I'm one of those women. I struggle with my self-esteem. I struggle with my confidence in myself. I struggle with my ability. Then here is the thing to improve your confidence. And I still want to talk about a symptom or talk about a problem and I give you some tips. That's not what we do here. So how do I build up my confidence? It's how you see yourself. First, change how you see you. I was teaching a class of potential leaders, excuse me, and I said, how you see them, your team, is how you will lead them. If you see them as top performers, you're going to treat them with such a respect. You're going to create opportunities for everyone on the team. You're going to see them as really your cohorts in accomplishing your department goals, your company goals, and so forth. But if you see them as your weak, they're weak, they're incompetent, they're useless. That's how you're going to lead them. You're going to be short with them. You're not going to make any time. You're not going to go out your way to build them or to develop them. That's what a leader does. A leader develops the people around them. You're never going to see them from a different perspective until you change how you change the information, change the radio station in here. So if you want to build up your self-confidence, change the radio inside your mind. Change the channel. Stop singing the same sad songs about yourself. Choose to have a new affirmation about you. And it's not about having 365 affirmations. I can say a new one every day. No, you need to say one that you keep saying over and over and over again. And when you master that one, then go to the next one. Have an affirmation about your mind, about your body, about your finances, about your career. Those, I always call those 5 areas. Have it. Find an affirmation. If you're a leader, find the affirmation about leadership. Find the affirmation that you continue to recite. You can say it silently, or you can say it out. You can say it while you're driving the car, going to the office. You can say it in the car when you're dropping your kids off. You can just say it. Speak it out loud that you hear the words coming back at you. That's the power of confessing an affirmation. You say the words out loud, and it's like a boomerang. Boo! It comes right back, and it gets into your ear, your hearing, and then you keep reciting it over and over again. Some women, the 79% of the women that struggle with self-esteem, they just need to change the channel of how they see themselves. And accept that there are going to be other women who have a different body type. I never like to say a better body than yours, but in some cases, it is a better body. And guess what? I don't whether they work on their body in terms of go to the gym, have a trainer and a nutritionist, or whether they went to a surgeon, a doctor to kind of get their body chiseled. Here's the point. They chose to change their body. They chose to do something about it. But I don't want you to, whether you get a trainer or you go to a surgeon, a cosmetic surgeon to get your body changed, because you can get all of the outward work done. But inwardly, if you don't think positive about yourself, if you don't have a confidence about you, then guess what? You can have that same body as the lady in the magazine that you watched. And guess what? And still feel you're inferior. You can have the same body type. You can have some similarities. Same hair type, same complexion. You might have on the same outfit. But if you don't see you in a positive light, All of that work on you on the outside is not going to matter. It's not going to matter. And I want you to begin to see yourself not I'm gonna start liking me when I get to my size 10. No, start loving and liking you now. Start embracing the woman you are today. Don't wait to get there. Why? Because it's going to take time to change the body. If you're going under the knife, it's going to take time. So guess what? Love your package. Love who you are and still work on who you are. But no amount of surgery is going to change how you view yourself inwardly. That's where the surgeon, which is only you, is going to be able to fix. So you want to build up your self-confidence. You need to work on how you view yourself here, how you see yourself here. When you look in the mirror, what do you really see? Do you see a monster staring back at you? And 100% out of 100%, that's not a monster. It's you. Stop seeing yourself as the villain. Stop seeing yourself as the victim. Stop seeing yourself as you're not worthy. Stop seeing yourself as your past. And see yourself as, I love the woman looking at me. Have you ever just given yourself a high five in the mirror? Have you ever just said, good morning, Dana? How are you today? Have you ever said, good morning, beautiful, bodacious, brilliant? Have you ever said those words to yourself without having on any makeup, hair all over the place, don't have on your clothes yet, toothbrush in your hand, and yet you're looking at yourself and saying, good morning, beautiful. Or you have to be this and tight, and all of this has to be for you to see yourself beautiful. I'm beautiful with this hair and without. It's just a different look. I have naturally kinky hair. It is a bush. I wish it was curly. But guess what? I get some products if I want to make it curly. But guess I'm glad I got my hair, because there's some women that go through chemotherapy and lose their hair and they wish they had their hair. It shouldn't take a negative event in your life for you to say, oh, I should have appreciated my body. I should have appreciated my hair. But now that I don't have it, don't let it get to that point where you no longer have those things. Learn to appreciate who you are. Doesn't mean you can't work on yourself. I love me tremendously. Tremendously. Why? Because if I don't love me, if I don't have a healthy self-esteem about myself, then you know what's going to happen? I am going to be a difficult person to be around. People are not going to want to be around me. I'm going to always find something sarcastic or negative to say around people who are around me. I want to find fault in others because I'm not comfortable in my own skin. And not because I'm a black woman. No, my own skin. Me being me. That's what I mean by your own skin. So I want you to not be part. I want to pull at the be you, do you, live you. I want to pull so many women out of that boat. The 79% boat. I want to pull so many, not really pull. Let me rephrase that. I want to show the way to those women who are in that boat, the 79%, come out of there. I want to get 79% down to zero. To where we have more women who have a healthy self-esteem about themselves, not based on their pedigree, not based on their marital status, not based on their wealth portfolio, not based on who they know, their influencers and them being an influencer. Nope. Just on themselves. I want them to have a healthy self-esteem without any of those other things. Those things are nice. But you're more than a title. You're more than a mother. You're more than a wife. You're more than a judge. You're more than a doctor. You're more than a lawyer. You're more than a teacher. You're more than a UPS worker. You're more Amazon. You're more than those things. That's what you do. That's not who you are. And that's why I'm so passionate about this event. So you say, I can't make the 25th. Then pick the month that you can come. But come. You don't want to miss it. There is so much information I'm going to be sharing. I'm so excited about it. And so again, I want you to be able to know that I want you to be able to know that it's okay to admit I struggle with low self-esteem. It's not okay to not do anything about it. That's why I made the statement. It's so if I was giving away a crypto or how to have a better relationship or how to have more love in your marriage and so forth, they'd be like, I'm coming, because I'm not ashamed at the topic. But when you say be you, what means all these years I have not been me? What do you mean? Low self? I don't have no low self-esteem. I'm not going something like that. I'm good. But in your conversation to your closest friends, they can tell you're not good. And sometimes close friends, your BFFs, they see your flaws. And they have talked to you about your flaws. And they've talked about your flaws behind your back. And guess what? You still have not changed. You say, I want to build up. If you want to do anything in life, you have to have confidence. And you may tell me self-esteem ties into my confidence? Absolutely. How do you see you? How do you see yourself? I want you to see yourself in such a way that you no longer struggle with your self-esteem. And you can be 60 years old and still have a low self-esteem. Just like you can be 5 years old and have low self-esteem. But you don't have to any longer come to the Be You, Do You, Live You event. The information is at the bottom of the screen. Go to www.beyoudouyouliveyou.com. Pick up my book, Self-Discovery 33. Go to www.danamwoods to get it. It's going to be a powerful thing. It's going to change your life. What if in one day your life can do a 180? Would you take it? Would you take it? Or you want to still keep going in a 360-degree manner? Just keep going in a circle. It's like a dog chasing his tail, never to get the tail. It's like if the person dangling the carrot, but the horse never gets the carrot. Every time you think you're getting close, then the carrot goes further out. It was never designed for you to get it. I want you to not deal with this issue because and in your career, you need confidence. If you're going to be a leader, you need confidence. If you're going to be a mother, you're going to need confidence. If you're going to be a partner, a spouse, you're going to need confidence. You cannot escape it. And confidence will take you further. Oh my goodness, will it? The worst thing, I'm going to close here. The worst thing is to see somebody in power and they struggle with their self-esteem. That's going to be a nightmare leader. Trust me, I know. I had one. And I don't want that to be said of you. I don't want it to be. So I'm Dana Michelle Woods, and this is your Golden Nugget today, and it was my honor to serve you today. I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. What we'll talk about, I'm not too sure. Just make sure you tune in. Have a good one. Don't forget, like, share, comment on the video. And make sure you check out our social media page on Instagram, Dana Michelle Woods, INTL. Make sure you sign up. I'm only giving you golden nuggets. Things that you can ponder, you can think, and make the changes in your life. Well, again, I'm Dana Michelle Woods. My honor to serve you, and have a good one.